Welcome friends to part 25 of this series where we'll be creating an Instagram clone in FlutterFlow and Supabase. So in this video, we'll be starting on our chat message functionality. For this video, we'll be working on the UI pages for our chat pages over here. So let's get started. So let us create our new page. We'll create a blank page and we'll name this page chat groups page. So there's the chat groups page, which will be this page over here. So now this page is very similar to something that we already created before, which is inside our search page under accounts. So it's very similar to this. So actually what we can do is we can go ahead and copy this column right here. So we'll copy this column, and inside our chats group page, we will delete this app bar, delete this column, and we'll just paste the column over here. We'll also go ahead and get rid of our generating children from variable here. So now that we have removed that, we have some errors over here. But for now, let's just ignore that. And what we can do, we can just replace this with a username for now, and we also want to replace this. So get rid of that with the display name. So we have some errors. And last but not least, we also want to replace this image path as a default image. Right, so we can also add this search bar over here. So we can also actually just take that from our search page. So we'll copy this row and we'll go and ahead and put it inside this column. Or we can just take our user container and shift it down. And we should also wrap our user container inside of a list view. Alright, so with the list view selected, let's add some top padding of 24, and I think that should be good. One more thing we can do is inside the column, we can also add a divider, and we'll take this divider and shift it all the way to the top of the column. And we can also add some top padding to this row over here. Yep, we can change the color of the divider to, let's say, secondary text. Maybe that's a bit too dark, so we'll just change it. Yep, looks good. We can also change the sizes for our circle image. So let's give it a diameter of 60, and let's also add some more bottom padding. Let's say 4. Then inside this row, we can also add an icon. And for this icon, it'll be the triple ellipsis icon. So ellipsis under font awesome over here. And with the column selected, we will go ahead and push these 3 icons all the way to the right. Yep, that looks good. Seems that we have some errors over here. So this is because of this search icon text field over here. So we'll just go ahead and just delete all the conditional actions for now. And you see that the errors are now gone. I think we want to decrease the circle image size. Let's say just use 48 for now. So for our user container itself, we can add some bottom padding of 16. So now if we duplicate the user containers, it'll look something like this. Alright, so that's it for our first page over here. Now we have to create our chat messages page, or our chat page over here. So let's do that right now. So let's go ahead and create a new page, create a blank page, and this can be the chat page. So first, let's get rid of the column and get rid of the app bar. And let's see how we should do this. So let's first work on this top app bar over here. So we'll first want to create a column, and I think this top app bar is actually very similar to this sort of user container over here. So let's just take that, copy that, and we'll paste it over here. So for this user container, let's rename it to app bar container. Then let's see what else we need. We need a back icon at the start. So in this row, let's add another icon. And we want to shift this icon all the way to the start of the row. And this will be a back icon. You can also add some right padding of, let's say, 8. Now, I think that is fine. The username as well as the display name is fine. Let's increase the font size of this username to 16. And now for these icons, we'll change this icon to a call icon. Let's just use this one over here. And let's duplicate this icon. And for the next icon, it'll be sort of a video chat icon. So video, I think this one is fine. And we can also add some spacing of 4. Alright, looks good. Then after this row, or after this app bar container, we want to add a divider. So there'll be that divider over there. Let's decrease the padding over here, so get rid of that. Yep, looks good. And then now we'll add the actual sort of container to contain our messages. So in our column, we will add a container, and we'll name this container messages container. This container will have infinite width, and for the height, let's just remove the height. We also want to remove the fill color for now. So in our messages container, it will host a list of all our messages right here. So in the messages container, let's add a list view. So let's add a list view in our messages container, and this will host each one of our messages right here. So we can, inside our list view, create a container, and this will be our message container. For our message container, let's remove the fill color, remove the width, as well as remove the height. Alright, so now let's try to create one of our messages right here. So our message contains a profile picture, a very small profile picture, as well as this container containing the message text. So in our message container, we'll add a row, and inside the row, we'll add a circle image. We'll decrease the diameter of the circle image to 40. And inside the row, we also want to add another container. And this container will have width of, let's say, 300 or maybe 240. And it will have variable height. We also want to change the fill color to, let's say, alternate. And we also want to add some border radius all around of 8. And inside this container, we'll add some text. So this text will have all around padding of 8. And we can just give it some text to type in for now to see how it looks like. Yep, so that is how our message will look like. And inside our message container, let's add some padding. So 16 from the left, 16 to the right, and actually let's just add 16 all around. Inside the row itself, let's add some item spacing of, let's say, 8. And with the row selected, I also want to align it to the bottom, so for cross-axis alignment, we'll align it to the end. Yep, and it looks good. Maybe we want to also decrease this image size to, let's say, 32. Now that we have our message done, we can work on this sort of message bar. Alright, so we can actually just reuse our message bar from our comment section component right here. So let's go and copy our message bar container right here, and we'll go to our chat page and we'll paste it inside the column. So now we have a message bar component. We can click on our message bar container, and let us just get rid of the bottom padding, and let's also get rid of the fill color. And we also no longer need this row over here, so we'll just get rid of that. We also don't need the circle image anymore, so right click, get rid of that. And we also lastly want to push this message bar all the way to the bottom of the page. So with our list view, our messages container selected, we can set the expanded property to expanded, and it will push it all the way down. We can also get rid of this column just right under the form since we no longer need that. And yep, everything looks good for our chat page right here. And one more thing that we can also do is we can also add our own message. So you can see that this message is a different style from when other people send us messages. So we can just go ahead and copy and duplicate this message container. But now for this message container, it will be our own message container. So we will get rid of the circle image. And with the row selected, we also want to change the alignment to, and we also want to change the color of our container over here. So we can just change it to, let's say, a nice shade, a light shade of green. Yep, I think that looks good. Okay, so we currently have some errors, and that is due to the button over here, the currently existing actions in our send button. So let's just get rid of the whole chain. And now you should see that once we deleted the actions, the errors should disappear as well. Alright, yep, so that's it for this simple video to create the UIs for both of our pages that we need for our chat messages functionality. So in the next video, we'll be working on the actual messaging functionality itself. I hope you're excited for that, and I'll see you in the next video.